Money in the Bank 2012 is in the history books, and before this pay-per-view started, on paper it looked like crap. Well, I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised to see what I saw tonight on the pay-per-view because it ended up being a pretty good show. It wasn't fantastic, but it definitely wasn't bad. This actually was a decent show. I think it's worth watching. So let's get right down to the review. Of course, we had the pre-show match. Tag team action, Kofi Kingston and R-Truth going up against HUNICO and Camacho. I gotta say, this was a really good pre-show match. It actually got a nice amount of time at 9 minutes. These guys were back and forth, a lot of near falls, and Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, they picked up the win over Hunico and Camacho. R-Truth gets the win with the DDT. It actually was a good tag team match, and I really enjoyed it. So now we start the show. The pay-per-view starts, and it starts with the SmackDown Money in the Bank match. Dolph Ziggler, Santino Marella, Cody Rhodes, Damien Sandow, Tyson Kidd, Sin Cara, Tensai, and Christian. All 8 of these participants are fighting for that World Heavyweight Championship contract. And this was indeed a great way to start the pay-per-view because the match was exciting. I enjoyed it. There were a couple mess ups during the match, but I don't think those botches really took that much away from the overall quality of the match. It got about 18 minutes, and like I said, it was an enjoyable match. I love the Tyson Kidd and Dolph Ziggler spot. Tyson Kidd slingshots off the top rope onto a ladder, somehow spins around on another ladder, powerbombing Dolph Ziggler. It was pretty cool to see. Tensai powerbomb Sin Cara on a ladder that was set up on the outside. Also, Tensai, he picks up Ziggler like a rag doll and just throws him over the announce table. And Ziggler lands like neck first on this chair, and it looked pretty brutal. But Ziggler was able to continue in the match. But anyways, like I said, Ziggler was able to continue the match, and it's a good thing he did because he ended up winning the SmackDown Money in the Bank contract. That was awesome. I thought either Cody Rhodes or Dolph Ziggler would have won. I was halfway right. Dolph Ziggler did win. I was wanting Cody Rhodes to win, but you know what? I don't care. Just as long as Dolph or Cody won, I would have been happy, and I was happy as hell to see Dolph win the match. It really started the pay-per-view off on the right track. Anyways, after this match, The Miz comes out. He makes his return after a 2-month absence. He cuts a little bit of a promo, and basically he comes out to say that he's going to be in the Raw Money in the Bank match. So now we have 5 participants instead of the original 4, which I was great to hear that. Uh, it really made that match better. Of course, I'll get to that later when I talk about it. But yeah, we got 5 people in the Money in the Bank Raw match. So that was great news to hear, no doubt. So now we get to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Alberto Del Rio taking on Sheamus. I got to say, this was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Back and forth, near falls. I loved how Alberto Del Rio really worked on Sheamus's arm throughout the whole match. I love when wrestlers focus on one body part and they just work on it and work on it and work on it. It makes the match more realistic. And, they got a great amount of time, 14 minutes. And, of course, Sheamus, he wins the match. He retains the title. He hits Alberto Del Rio with the bro kick, and he got the 1-2-3. And right after the match, Dolph Ziggler, he almost cashes in his briefcase, but he gets hit with the bro kick instead, and the ref doesn't ring for the bell, so the match never really got started. So Dolph Ziggler still has his briefcase, and I'm happy about that. But yeah, Sheamus retains the title just like I predicted, and it was a very entertaining match. Next, we have a tag team match. The Primetime Players taking on EPICO and PRIMO. This was an okay match. I'm a fan of the Primetime Players. I think they are a great tag team. But they got beat by EPICO and PRIMO. And, it wasn't much to talk about, really. R-Truth and Kofi Kingston, they were at ringside. And of course, we all know that the primetime players are the number one contenders. But I don't understand why the WWE is letting these guys lose, especially if they are the number one contenders. It doesn't really give them much cred, if you ask me. But it happened that way, no big deal. This match was okay in my book. All right, next we have without question the match of the night, the WWE Championship match. And actually, we found out earlier on in the night that it was a no DQ match. This match was awesome. AJ was a special ref, and she didn't really take away from the match whatsoever. In fact, in the first 5 minutes, AJ gets knocked off the ring apron. She has to go to the back, so they bring out a different ref. And after that, the match got cooking. I mean, this match was insanely good. I'm sure that Daniel Bryan and CM Punk have had better matches, but for a no DQ match, this match was not bad whatsoever. I think it's impossible for Daniel Bryan and the CM Punk to have a bad match because their chemistry with one another is unheard of. It's fantastic, and I loved this match. Finally, though, about 18 minutes into the match, AJ makes her triumphant return. So she's back in the referee role. And this is where the match kind of gets interesting. She brings in a chair and sits it right in the middle of the ring. And basically, she's, is going to see who gets the chair first. Is it going to be Daniel Bryan or CM Punk? And, this match just went back and forth, back and forth. Near falls, false finishes. I mean, it was just such a great match to see. If you haven't seen the pay-per-view, do whatever you can to see this match because this match indeed was awesome. It got 28 minutes, and CM Punk, he finally wins the match. He has a table set up in the ring, and he does a belly-to-back suplex on Daniel Bryan through the table. It was sick. Punk pins Daniel Bryan with the 1-2-3, and that was that. I mean, it was a very, very good match, and you got to check it out. Next up, we have a 2-on-1 handicap match. Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex going up against Ryback. They each tried on one-on-one competition to beat up Ryback, and they couldn't do it. So I guess they decided to see if they can do it in tag team action. 2-on-1. They tried to give it a valiant effort, and actually, this is the first time I think that we've seen Ryback actually have to play defense. He actually did get beat down a little bit in this match. And this is also the longest Ryback match we've seen to date. This match actually went just about 4 minutes. But no matter what Kurt Hawkins or Tyler Rex did, they couldn't control Ryback. And Ryback did get the win. And this was an okay match. After that, we had a 6-diva tag team match. Layla, Kaitlyn, and Tamina Snuka going up against Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and Eve Torres. Not much this match. It was alright. Layla, Kaitlyn, and Tamina Snuka pick up the win. Nothing really to talk about. Next, we get to the main event. Kane, Chris Jericho, The Miz, and The Big Show, and John Cena all going for the WWE Championship contract and the Raw Money in the Bank match. They added The Miz, which was good. So we had 5 participants, and I gotta say, I wasn't expecting much from this match because the 4 guys they had in it, well, I just wasn't really expecting much from Kane and the Big Show. But I gotta say, I was surprised with this match. This match was actually good. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, though, John Cena picked up the win. I should have known this was going to happen. In fact, I did know this was going to happen, but I went ahead and picked Chris Jericho anyways in my predictions because I was just hoping that the WWE would have went a different route. And in one moment of the match, you thought Chris Jericho was going to win, but it didn't happen. John Cena made his way up to the top of the ladder. The Big Show is up there as well. John Cena's bashing the Big Show in the head with the briefcase that's dangling from the chain. And the briefcase, the handle of it, kind of breaks. And it breaks off in John Cena's hand. and he's holding the briefcase after hitting the Big Show with it several times. So John Cena gets the win. And yeah, I guess that was kind of cool. It's going to be interesting to see how John Cena uses the briefcase. This might actually be the first time that cashing in the briefcase doesn't work. You know, it's got 100% so far with everybody that's held the briefcase. No one has lost a match at all by cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. So eventually that will have to break. You know, that streak can't go on forever. Maybe John Cena will be the first one to lose. Who knows? Of course, this is John Cena we're talking about, and the chances of that happening are pretty slim, but that was the pay-per-view. John Cena picked up the win. He is now the Raw Money in the Bank briefcase holder. And, you know, the match was good. It got about 20 minutes. I can't really complain. And overall, I got to say the pay-per-view was enjoyable. It was pretty good. So, I'm Gold Izzy. Let me know your thoughts about the pay-per-view in the comments below. What'd you like? What'd you dislike? You know who I am. Peace out.